One of the really slick features of Quick Draw is the product hose rinse. This is a feature that allows us to rinse the hose that goes from our tote to the Quick Draw and account for the product that is going to be left in that hose. So the first thing that we're going to look at is how we set that process up, and then we'll show you exactly how we execute that with the Quick Draw. So to start with, we're going to go to our job screen. We'll make that transition, and there's a button down here at the bottom left you can see says product hose rinse. So when we press it, it's going to turn green and say enabled, and the rinse setup button is going to appear. Next, we'll push the rinse setup. In this screen, we need to enter the length of the hose and the diameter of that hose. We see that then it will calculate how much volume is contained in that hose. And so prior to mixing the batch, we have to tell it which products we're going to rinse. So we're going to go ahead and tell it that we're going to rinse both products 4 and 5, the two that we're going to be using today. Just simply check mark those boxes, go back to run, and then we are ready to start the batch. As we approach the batch set point, it's going to short the batch by the amount contained in the hose. When we execute the rinse, we'll then get that amount of product into the batch. So we got product, our first automated product in. Now we need to put in 13 gallons of the second automated product. Now it's going to bring up the screen that tells us we're ready for the product hose rinse. We'll see that appear here in just a second. And at this point in time, we're going to go execute the hose rinse. So the first thing we're going to do is we've got to turn our tote valves off. Once we turn the tote valves off, we'll start by selecting which product we're going to rinse. We're going to start with tote number 4, which is going to be this one. The valve is open, so now I'm ready to take this coupler off. This hose is under suction. It's going to go ahead and suck out that chemical. We're going to connect it to the product hose rinse port on our Quick Draw and open the valve, and that's going to allow rinse water in order to flush through that hose. Once we've allowed a sufficient amount of rinse, we go ahead and close the hose, and when we open this back up, that suction is still going to be on that hose. It's going to go ahead and suck out that rinse water. We've completed the rinse on number 1, or on our first tote. So now we just touch it. It's going to go ahead and close that. And then we will go ahead and do the next one. So we just simply touch it. That's going to open the product valve on our Quick Draw, applying suction. Crack the coupler. Connect it up to our product hose rinse port. Open. That allows that rinse water in order to flush completely through. Again, once we've allowed sufficient rinse water, then we go ahead, close the valve, open it up, allow the system to go ahead and suck the rest of the rinse water, and we've successfully rinsed the 2 hoses that we needed to for this batch. At that point in time, we close that valve and then press finish. That tells the Quick Draw that we've completed the product hose rinse cycle, and now it'll go ahead and top off the rest of the water that we need in this batch.